Welcome aboard.
Hey. Dr. Stangum and John in the house on recap on March 28th, Tuesday, 2023.
We got the mascot.
Man, I got it. It fires me up. Every time I hear that song, man, it fires me up.
Every day, Dobbs. Let's go.
Every day, man. Every
Charts,
day.
charts. Let's break down some
Oh,
daily chart.
man.
Let's start with our favorite. I know nobody wants to see his daily
Let's
chart.
go over some chop. Everybody's saying chop today. Sit on your hands. Chop, 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 chop.
It looks like garbage, but let's analyze this whole chart. This is the yearly, right? We still have a projection to the highs. We still do.
Yep.
I think they're just accumulating orders. We're going to roll into earnings in a week or so, and we're running to the end of the month, right?
Yep.
That's what we expect, right?
Yep.
But if we take the high of halfback and the low that we're holding right now, we are still below this halfback right here. So this is half of this range right here. So we're below 13. So today,
yes. So let me get my annotation here so I can annotate so everybody understands what we're looking at.
Is this high?
This is a high.
And this low right here.
And this is a low. And this is halfback, folks.
Yes. So today, when London opens and they sell at the highs, because this is all London up here selling. So every time London sells at the highs, London sells at the highs. Today, where did London open? Let's go down to a smaller time frame. Let's go look at this at a small time frame. Boom. It looks like garbage, but let's go back to yesterday, actually, when London opened, right? Because London opened, where is this play? This is Sunday. This is yesterday right here. No, this is yesterday.
Yeah, so right in here is where London opened.
London opened, they sold it, right? Then New York opens, and they sold it. So London sold, New York sold, Asia sold.
Mm-hmm.
This would be Asia. 1, 2, 3. 3 markets sold, right? If you look at this whole rotation, and where were we headed? Back to halfback. So the fact that we weren't moving up and 3 markets sold it, we did the 1 peak, 2 peak, 3 peaks.
Yep.
Look where London is now. Look where London was a day ago. Same price. They sold the same price. Everybody has the same price, and they sold it. Asia, London, New York.
Look, see these wicks right here? Wicks. It's the same level, guys. Same level.
Okay, so now we're going into this day where it's really just grinding downward. Every pop, I said it, every pop they're selling, every pop they're selling, every pop they're selling, every pop they're selling, every pop they sold. And then we got to halfback.
This is New York right here. This is clock. Right here's your clock started right here.
They sold
right the clock. Right?
Halfback. Now, even though price Now, even though they were selling, there were still people buying. And I said in the chat that people buy at this open of New York to try to get to the gap.
Previous day close.
Previous day close. Let's go on.
New York.
Let's go on a 5 minute, try to find it.
That's the gap that we were talking about. New York closed gap. Prices below where New York closed the day before when New York opens.
And when options, these daily options, people take advantage of that because they're cheap, and you can buy a daily option that's cheap to try.
Well, plus whoever sold puts, they're probably getting out, taking their profit.
Yeah, even if it goes up, I mean, even when it comes,
they're taking profit. That's why it goes up, because they took profit.
It's the same thing they did yesterday. So same scenario. They did the same scenarios they did yesterday. I think the gap was around here somewhere. So this is 15, and I guess around here some price. And I mean, this is a estimated price around here. Because look how
think about it. They're underwater. If they were buying long, they were underwater, so they had to get back to the closed price.
So look,
to get back to zero.
At the open, it wicks down. It's supposed to continue down, but options on these markets are making it harder to really make the move down. So realistically, you take this upward move and you start with the same prices as London Open, New York Open, and you literally have the same highs right here. That's why when London's close went up here, it hit the same price that they were selling, and it continued down to where? To 88, where we had already our target at. And we didn't close the gap, but people at the open are they're playing this gap closure. That's the thing, that they want to play the gap closure. But once it gets up here, and we're not getting up there, they're taking profit. And that's why you get this big drop like this. See, they get this big drop because they're like, oh, we're not going up there. And they just cover. Maybe they have a huge orders up here, whatever it is. But that's why price goes down like this. And it's usually around 10. It's something with 10. I don't know. Maybe they want to do a 30-minute hold on their options. Maybe the less time they're in it, if it doesn't hit within 30 minutes, they exit it. But when they do that, it's usually a big candle. And this is literally the candle that we had on a 5-minute. You saw it. Then it comes back up here during London's close. London's close sold it, completely sold it. So if you look at it, what did they do? They did the same move that New York did. Literally did the same move. So let's go to, it hasn't been pretty. I can't say it's been a pretty chart, but.
Well, they're trying to disguise everything.
Well,
that's the problem.
So if we go to that candle itself, this is how we set up for London's close. High, low, and boom. Now you have to take the scenario of saying that if we get below this range, that means we're going to target before 1300. It already lost that range right here. See, we were below 96. So the fact that going into 1300, well, actually, it didn't lose into 1300. 1300, what do? We didn't even test halfback, tell you the truth. Oh, yeah, we did. Look, boom. And guess what? We hit our target in here. It wasn't that hard of a play today. And let's take scenario. If you're trading on a smaller time frame, and I look at it on
it's all the same. It's all the same.
It's all the same. But look, you got high, low. This would have been halfback to hold. It didn't hold halfback. It failed halfback. And I said, if it gets under 95 and 97, this is going to be a sell. So what was I doing here? I was selling in here. Why? Because I'm risking 95. So I could take sells here. I could definitely take sells. What do we do? High, low, halfback. Boom, let's sell. We're risking this. We're failing a halfback. Then we're failing this low. And then we're hitting target. And that's it. The play is done for the day.
Yep.
Because we got back to halfback of the whole range. Now, there's other things I use on the chart that help me see where price is headed. But do we really need it? Absolutely not. You don't need it. You need to pay attention. You need to have something that measures your risk. So when I put the 30-minute candles on here and I do it like, well, this is 15. I'm sorry about that. That's why that will look a little bit off. This is how I do it on a 30-minute. So I literally just take that high, low, and then boom, I get to target. It was literally a walk in the park. On a 5-minute, you saw the sells. At the open, the same thing. The open, I said it though. I said, oh, this thing swang back and forth right here. I said, I don't think it's a buy, but I think the options are going to make this look like some. I said, I'm going to wait for London's close to get another trade in here. And if you look at London's close, we do use a 15-minute candle on London's close. And that is 3 opportunities to get in that to sell to get back to halfback, which was covered on the recap. So even though it covered on the recap, this play was to get back to halfback. And I put the chart up yesterday and I put it up during the day. I said, look, we're just going right back to halfback. I had 88 as the target. You could have got all the way down here 85. I could be off. And that's the thing. It's direction. It's taking the direction, not necessarily taking it as a target.
5 to 10 points is target.
Consistently. Because look, if we would have said, oh, I'm going underneath 85 or 88, I don't know. I said, well, that's the day for me because we're at halfback.
The rest don't matter. That's where you leave one runner.
Yeah. And right here, if you had a runner, if it gets above 85, you're out of this play.
So let's talk about this a little bit more, John. So if you're going to set up to have a runner, how does everybody need to be trading? I mean, this isn't the first time that we've talked about this. Everyone needs to be trading what?
Minis.
MES.
MES is very crucial to get
3 contracts max.
yes, to start off.
2 to hit target.
Yes.
1 for the runner.
Your 5 points should hit on the 2. Your 1 should go in there. And the thing with this 3 contract thing is that say that you don't get a perfect price, you adjust to it and you start covering that until you start getting really good at entry prices. Like say that you wanted, because a lot of people, I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I won't take price here. I will not take price here. Why? Because I don't know if that's going to keep going up, right? I won't take that price. Wait, let's go on to 15 because that's where I take my plays from. So say that price up here. I think somebody took a price up here and said they sold it. I said, oh, that's a good price. But what was your risk? Well, where was your risk? See, so I kind of wait for the candle to come underneath this thing of mine because that way it alleviates all my risk. Because guess what? If it goes back up here, I am wrong. Understand that.
Well, the risk should be here. I mean, your risk would be here.
Nah, I'm even tighter with it, Dobbs. Like if I take the play here, my risk is at this high. Because if this isn't going to continue, I'm going to be wrong.
Well, it should be the last high, though. It should be your last high. Not the candle high. It should be the previous high.
The reason I don't use that is because if you look at it, this is a 50-minute chart.
Does it hit it? I'm just showing you something. Does it hit it?
No, but you got to look at it as this. In this candle.
No, you got to look at it as getting the best price for the play and pull the trigger, that clock.
The best price is when it comes underneath.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I wouldn't sell on the way up. The only time I sold on the way up was here because I had a measurable risk here. So my measurable risk has to be above where I'm going in, right there. So I'm selling into this move up here. Like when it comes up here, because I know that that's my measurable risk up here. So when I sold here, it was because I had a reason.
See, I'm different. My thinking is, and I'm going to tell you why my thinking is, right here. Right here's your high, right? Right here's your clock.
But at the time you
take this is clock. It's a lower high. I'm pulling the trigger right here. I ain't waiting. No. My risk is here. He gets above this candle high right here, then I'm out. I'm wrong. Did it hit? Nope. Am I right or wrong? Not wrong. Boom. That's the best entry if you want a best entry. Now, if you're scared to pull the trigger, then you have to wait for the next candle.
To me, you have to have a
right here is your entry on this candle. Because what? That's high.
That's the same.
That's low. That's halfback. That's the safe entry. But where are you at? Stangum line. That is it. Confirmation right here.
What I'm telling you is that this is a halfback right here. So anytime that you get to this price right here, this is your halfback. So when you see these candles go through like this and it's coming down, that means that you're below halfback. If you come to this high, guess what? You are fucking wrong. That's the problem with it. Because if you go like this, say that this candle were to come down here, hold here, and come back up to this high, this is going to be a completely lost trade 100% of the time. Because the reason is that later on, you'll see that all the moving averages will curve up this way. But there's reasons for this to continue down. And the reasons were stacked on us today. So let's go back up to the yearly.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I would have entered at clock, period.
Well, here I did enter here because this is the high. So let's go back to the daily. Because I said it on the daily. I said, listen, why are we again underneath the lows? Which right now we kind of bounce hard from the lows right there. But this is the low right here. I mean, this is the high, right? Look at the high. Look at the price, right at the same price, right? Look at the low that we came down to sweep, which is 88. Look at the halfback that we held yesterday. So if you go back to the chart, look at the chart how it looks now. We're above. Yesterday, we kept holding halfback, kept holding the high into the close, holding the high, holding the high. Look what London did. They sold it into this play. I am selling here. Yep. I'm selling here. Why? Because we had one attempt to hold, two attempts
high, low, halfback,
3 attempts to hold, and we held half back. And remember, this is going to be the same scenario with that big candle on the yearly, which we bounced off the 200 and came back up to the high. And on Friday, they moved it up, miraculously moved it up, holding the market up. So realistically, this is what we should have had at that big candle, which didn't occur, but it's still in the future going to happen. So this play right here will happen again. So the scenario of it was the same thing that could have happened on Friday. We went to halfback, which was the 200, not just us, some sort of buying that they were doing. Let's leave it like that. And they came back up to the high, right? We kept failing that high and we kept making lower lows. This is the same scenario. We came back to halfback into New York. Boom, we come back up. We're not breaking the highs. We're failing halfback. We come back up into London close. Guess what we're doing? We're failing the halfback. Look where we're at. Boom, right to sweep the lows. We swept the low of the whole candle in this rotation right here. Right here is now you go back to the yearly and you see that we are still at a buy. We're still like holding the lows. So realistically, it could still go up. Now, if we go to a 30-minute and you take this big move up from Friday, now they're kind of justifying this move.
Oh yeah, looking good now, ain't it?
Low, high, halfback. So if we're holding halfback, where can we possibly go? Up to this high.
Headed back to the highs.
And if it gets if it starts getting into this earnings season, they start buying into earnings, this thing could literally start taking off because they want to sell the highs. Remember, when earnings comes, they're buying already, getting position in just to sell when earnings comes out because they want price higher so they can sell. It's the same scenario with this interest rate. Until the news comes out, they're not going to sell. Into the earnings comes out, they're not going to sell, but they're going to run it up so they could get profit on the way up and the way down. So realistically, today was just a pullback to halfback. It wasn't pretty, but a day like today, you're less risk. 3 contracts would be 2, maybe 1. Maybe you're just doing 1 and taking it down, making sure it worked. And we had London's close range that did. I mean, the Asia's range that we literally hit up here, right? Then we failed half back right here, which held over here to take it to the top side right here.
So why didn't it go to the top side then?
Because we were failing half back. We're below.
Exactly.
Where are we going? The low side. And then we're at the low side right here, which was holding until we broke down from it. And then we got to target. Now, will it happen all the time like that? No, it won't. It'll hold the downside and go to the top side. But the point is that the whole trend was to move down here. There was reason for it to move.
Once it got here, though, there was you should not have been taking longs on this whole move down.
No, that whole move was sell the pops, sell pops.
Now here you got a different story. Why? Because we got a low, we got a high, we got a half back. They made the turn.
We hit the halfback. So down there was really where they were looking to buy it at.
Exactly.
If you look at the 2 hours,
because it was half back.
There was only one candle. This candle right
here, half back.
Yeah, and then these candles I said didn't look right at all. It came down and fixed a lot of his candles. It didn't fix this one, but it fixed this candle. It fixed this candle, and now we're at halfback. So this candle,
they left this one.
Yeah, they left this one for later on.
This is the save. This is the save.
This is where we come back to save it around this price somewhere around here. It's gonna come back and be saved right there. So. Right. And that's where I put the target at, that it's going to hit here, somewhere down here. Because remember, when it hits halfback, it usually sweeps down to the downside and then comes back up. Same scenario. And look at the 2 hour. So let's look at this 2 hour to make sure I post this chart as well. Look when they started really selling. When did they sell? That was very evident that they started selling this. Right. We were above the high, and look at this candle, failing halfback right here. This is London's open. If London's open is selling here, we're taking out all these lows. Look, we took out all those lows and look at all these wicks. They sold the top of every 2 hour candle from here. So London's close. This is a halfback that wasn't touched neither. So where's this price possibly going? All the way up to London's close. I mean, London's open. It's the same thing they've been doing. They haven't changed anything. Look how they sold it off on yesterday, right? They sold the highs. Look where it came back to, right back to the 7 a.m. candle right here. It literally came back up and then sold off from the same area that they sold from. It went swept the highs. Where do you think this candle might be going to? Because we're not going down. We're probably going to this high right here. So if we go up to that high, right? We'll go up to that high, sweep that high.
You got a high, you got a low.
And then we
Gonna
can
try to get the half back.
and then we'll possibly do something like this, a half back over here, and then take off. Because it's not a sell until we break down from a half back. This is a breakdown from a half back right here. We went high, low, half back, failed. Then it became a sell. So it was a sell going into New York. Why? Because they went a half back. And if you see the whole rotation, I said, well, we break this rotation and we're trading underneath here. Then we're taking out this low. We're coming back to 200 and we're coming back to that big candle. The big candle is literally at 73 right here. So 73 is our key candle. I remember the price because when it gets down there.
Yeah, I had 72, but
it's around 73, 72. But
yeah, somewhere in there.
Once we get to this price and we're below 73, 72, we are going to have a big, big move down. Are we having that right now? Absolutely not.
No, not yet.
They're still holding the market. But once we get underneath there, if we get underneath there anytime soon, we got to remember that that is going to give us 56. Like, I think it's all the way down there. It's a big trip down there. 56 is actually the half back, and the whole rotation down is literally like it's really a big candle. Let's go to yearly and see what the low of that candle is. It's all the way down here. So that's 37.50. So we're going to get a huge move. Is it going to happen today or tomorrow? No.
No.
What do we have to do first? We have to get back underneath that 73 like we did here. But if we do a trend break and we break 73, you better believe we're going to get those big moves. Right now, we're not having any of that. We're not having any big moves. We're not having continuation on any plays. Right now, it's just we're trading in a range and we're trading the range for what it's doing, not what we expect it to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest key. Like we had a target and that's why we set up for that. So let's set up for tonight and leave it at that. Right now, we do have a target to the top side because of what it's doing.
Yes.
Can this be a fake move? Of course. Because this happened all after hours. So it's inside our range though. So if it's inside our range, it's still playable.
Right.
Thing that it's not outside the range. So all it's doing is going back in the range that it should be in. So we take London's close and we go inside. Well, this is a big move actually. See, right now, I don't even have a range for it like that, Dobbs. Like, it's probably better just to keep the same range as yesterday because it's really, really tight. And it's probably going to be tight.
That's what I'm saying. They could, Asia could sell it and then they can try to bounce it here.
Yeah, right there looks, it's tight. It's really tight.
And the problem is because everybody sold it. So now, if everybody sold it, why would Asia be buying it?
Exactly.
So that's just one scenario. But could Asia be going because we just swept the lows? And we're above the lows now. And we could be targeting highs.
Right now, the target could be this high right here.
Yes, it can be. But so what do we go by? This is our range, right? We're in the range right now. So the last high, the last low, we got a half back.
Yeah.
So this half back, would it look right to go? I don't know. To me, it wouldn't look right to go, but I think it would have to pull back. I don't know. But you got to understand what we got too. Did I lose you, John?
Nah, Dobbs. I don't know why I went mute. Well, right now,
or this could be the true halfback. I'm trying to get my annotation to work. It just quit on me. Or we had the low over here and we had the high, and we're at halfback. So it's very tricky, very tricky. But with this move that they did in after hours,
Yeah, it's kind of iffy. You see,
but right at the end of the market, it's also, it's noticeable they're trying to save the market. So
well, let's see, because they put it back above that 11 o'clock candle. So I think it's possible that we go see this half back up.
right, and I think Asia's probably going to go see their open from yesterday. I think that's what they want to do. They want to try to get price above London close to make London buy it.
And this is a big candle right here too.
They're trying to get above London close, which is 1130, which is right in here. They're trying to hold this level right here. So if they get price up, then London they can't sell it
Yeah. So if
past this open right here. I mean, this close.
it go right to zone,
So yeah, so that would be the hold.
it's really tight though. This is really
Yeah,
tight.
range has been, that's what I put in chat today. Range was actually horrible today for New York. Actually horrible till end of day.
This is how I see it right there.
But it did hit its London Open range. It was 15 points down, and they did hit the 15 points up. So they did hit their range. They did what they were supposed to do.
And then this 1500 candle has been like very, very big. This 1545 candle, like your 1445.
Yeah, yeah.
And look where we're at. So it's probably going to pull back right to halfback. Look where halfback falls, right at that 11 o'clock candle.
Yep, at 96.
Yeah.
And see the confluence. So there's our number, 96.
And all this matched up yesterday with what it hit on the high side and everything. It hit the 1430 candle on the high side into London's open, sold off straight from it. It was like amazing how all this lines up together all the time to be like, well, I see what they did. So it'll come back down here possibly. And it's the same price. It's insane to see a big range. I mean, for just that one candle, that range becomes. So maybe.
But keynote, I think that we need to keep an eye on is Midnight's been selling it and London's been selling it. So if they're doing that and our trend is down, so when does it flip? And what scenario happens when we start to go long? Well, Midnight's not they're gonna start buying it, and London's gonna start buying it.
Yeah, when we see that flip, because we've seen
that's how you know you're on the long side.
Yeah, when they both buy it, and when it's Asia selling and then Midnight buying it up, because it did that last week when they bought it up like that.
Right.
But I mean, right now it looks like we're at the high of Asia's range right now, and we're at the high of London's close. So it's probably going to do a pullback to 96. It's not much on that. And that's 10 points down. Now, if you get 10 points to the top side, look where it puts us. It literally puts us. We're at.
Well, maybe you get the 10 points down, and then you get the 20 point up from there, and then that puts us where we need to be.
Yeah, it puts us literally where these lines are at. So you get the 10 points down, or B, the 10 points up. In time, we'll see it. But right here, if we start selling off or gapping down, then you're going to know what move we're doing. Right now, it's very tight. But it looks just like what it's going to do. Like it probably, right now, we're at the highs. So I don't see this as a buy at the highs until we pull back. And if you go.
No, because I think we're at halfback. To me, we're at halfback. You got a high, you got a low, and we're at halfback.
And you see it's 30 minutes. Look how the 30-minute falls in line with this time frame right here. So it possibly has to get over here. It could boost up a little bit, and then what time? No, I mean it's got the 7. I don't know, though. This.
I mean, it could just go.
Yeah, it could.
It could just go. And the only synopsis that I've got for that is they want to get price above London close to keep them from selling it.
Let's see on the 2-hour how it looks.
Because if Asia gets below London close and stays below London close.
Yeah, see right here, we need a pullback. So it's probably going to pull back, Dobbs, because this is a 2-hour candle. It's very high. It's very extended right now compared to the rest.
Yeah.
It could possibly pull back. At least a halfback of
At
this.
least a halfback of that
It,
candle.
it doesn't have to come down here. It could go up here and then come back down here later on into midnight. So, I mean, right now it bounced off a halfback. It doesn't necessarily have to come back because of what it did here.
Well, see, Asia
You
probably
just
wants to
gotta
go
move up.
see their open last night because there is a gap. They're gapped down. So,
Yeah.
so what would Asia do if they're not short? They're going to go try to go close the gap.
And now what they did is they created a gap up and down. So that's crazy. That's even worse. 'Cause look, now we got a gap all the way down here, possibly.
Also note that Sunday's open price is 4,008. 4,008. So to be a long for me, we would have to be above 4,008. That's the line in the sand that I'm using. If it can't get above it, then we're going to go back to the downside.
The gap is right here at 401 for tomorrow. So, it could go 10 points above this and then try to come back to it. Right there. And remember, people are probably very heavy selling down here. Very heavy, trying to go options heavy to sell because of what it was doing
Well, I think they probably squeezed just about everybody out in New York today.
in that close. Well, everybody's probably selling to get it lower, and then they had a cover because look at the time. Once it got to
Yes.
300, they started covering their sell from possibly yesterday that they were selling into this, thinking it's going to tank.
Right.
And then they end up covering, and look, that generates a big move up. So there weren't enough sellers where it came back to. And possibly just the time and duration that it took to get down. It's way up there right now to be like, oh, this is gonna come back down, and we could go 10 points above this close right here, which puts us at 11. So it puts us like at the near this high up here.
Mm-hmm.
So if it gets above 151, it's probably gonna go up here into midnight or try to get up to this price near this area. And then if into midnight sell off, and then we'll probably
Yes.
do the halfback or something like that.
Back to London close because they won't be able to sell it past there.
Exactly. So they want it higher, and the same scenario happened the other day when they sold it down. That they got London's open above the close, so they couldn't sell past London's close.
Yep.
But when they can't sell past London's close, this will literally go the opposite direction where they start buying it into New York because they're forced to buy. They're not able to sell past it for some reason, which is weird. But
yeah, it's weird. But that's what we see.
yeah, that's all we see, that they can't sell past their price once they get it above. And right here, we are definitely above their price. So right here, we're above their price. So say that moves up.
So it could move 30 points up.
Yeah, they move it up and then it comes back down here. They'll sell it here, and then New York and London's forced to buy it. And it could literally be London's open, and it's a go. It's probably gonna be a buy.
Yeah.
It's literally the case scenario right there. We'll see what happens. Right now, the setup is important. You have to set up. You have to use some kind of measurable risk. This market wasn't that hard to sell down because even though the price kept waking up and doing all this, if you were on a smaller time frame, yes, it was killing you, but the range was very small on today. And even
Stangham line would have kept you on the right side. I keep saying it over and over.
so say that you were selling, like, say you were playing New York right here, right? New York comes up, boom, 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 we're taking off. Once it did this, and you're more prone to say that if we're below London's close halfback, right? Just like today, look, we're above London's close halfback. This is the halfback of the range that was set. If we're above, what are we possibly looking for? A long. If we're below it, what are we looking for? A sell. So we're in this area. We're looking to sell to what? To this area. So you got to take that into consideration when you're looking at this chart. Like if we're below here, we're below this area, right? We're looking to get down here. That's exactly what happened today. The same thing goes for here. If we're up here, where's our targets? Up here.
Yep.
So it's the same scenario as.
And then if you don't know, just wait for Area 51.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, it's going to tell you what it's going to do because once it hits Area 51, it's either going to break out or it's going to come back inside the range to halfback.
Yeah, so if you look at Asia, Asia is the range that tells you. So we're at the high of Asia. Say we fail here, guess where we're going? Halfback.
Yeah.
So all your plays here are looking for sells, or when it shows you a sell, to get down.
Yep.
Not to be like, oh, it's going back to
And
8.
then if halfback don't hold, it goes to the bottom of the 1445 candle.
Exactly what it did last night. What we do? We held halfback, right, into midnight, and then what happened? Boom, they took it all the way up to the high, 151. Guess what it did? It went back to halfback, failed halfback, and then went down to a low. So, and then we were breaking the low, and then at the close, we end up above that 151, which was right here like a 96 or something, right? Yeah, 96. Yeah. So there was a lot of things that were working, with you, but at the same time, if we're pushing down on that 96 and we're not showing any reflection upward, then, and once we fail 96 and London's close, you should have been like, yo, we're breaking down to the downside. That's what I said in the chat. I said, yo, we're below 151. We're below Stingham line. London close sold it. 1300. What do you think 1300 is going to do? Is one 2-hour halfback going to hold? No, they literally sold through that 2-hour halfback, and it looked like it was going to hold. I was like, look, they're holding it up. I said, look, if we hold halfback here, and that was 95, 97 was the 30-minute. We failed both of those, and look where we went, straight down. We hit the range on the downside.
Yep.
All perfectly like how it was talked about in the chat. And everything. We had a target down there and it hit perfectly. We hit London's close perfectly. Remember, those are targets to direction for it where it's headed. And once London's open failed the halfback, we knew we were possibly going to go to another halfback, the 151 to the downside. Because we're not going up. Guess where we're going? We're going to go take out the low probably. And that's exactly what we did. All right, Dobbs, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going into Thursday. We got a big report on Friday that's probably going to affect the market, and I think that's possibly going to be the mover to the next level.
Absolutely. Knowing where price is headed is our edge at Stingham Trading. We know how the market moves. If you don't believe us, come check us out. Join us. Risk and disclosures. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
I could hear you.
Okay. All right.
Last time music.
So not yet, man. Trading disclaimer: the risk of loss in trading security, option, futures, forex, and commodities can be substantial and are not suitable for all investors. You must consider all relevant risk factors, including your own personal financial situation before trading. Do not risk money you cannot afford to lose, guys. That's why we use prop firms. You assume the risk of any and all financial investments you make. Why? Because we do not tell you when to buy or sell at Stingham Trading. We show you how to read the charts. The clues are on the charts.
Cause so many time passed by. Don't know why I'm losing my mind. Ego was so strong inside. At this point I just lived a lie. I wish I could tell you why. I wish I could feel you again, but I know it's too late, and I know you're away. There's no chance to apologize, no. It's a goodbye, just a goodbye. Forever and ever, you never come back. Just a goodbye, forever goodbye. I sit in my ride, thinking about you. Drive through the night, I got nothing to lose. Strobe city lights, they can tell me the truth. Tell me what I should do, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose, thinking about you. Drive through the night, I got nothing to lose. Strobe city lights, they can tell me the truth. Tell me what I should do, I got nothing to lose. I sit in my so many time passed by. I saw you last time. This is my last ride. I wish we're gonna see us on the other side.